is my little on-the-air sign broke.
And I fixed it. It works, or it's working now.
It's working now? So when we go on there, I'm going to be able to tell when we're supposed to be on the air?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that the idea?
That might be the idea.
Okay.
Of course, that just might work.
Look, it's working.
You're right. Hi, everyone.
I fixed it.
See, you're right. Hey. Welcome. Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 144.
You forgot who we were talking to.
Yeah, who are we talking to? Welcome to week 144. There's 144 weeks of GenderBlenders.
I know.
That's 12 squared.
Oh. Does that make it gross?
Something like that.
Okay.
Well, hopefully the video won't be gross, but...
None of that here in my presence.
Discuss your feelings, thoughts around your progression of medical transition. Any bumps in the road of HRT? Well, it sounds like, how's your transition going and things like that. That might be a...
Around your progression, that would mean from the start of transitioning.
From the start of? Or from...
Because
where
there's
you
progression of medical transition.
Yeah.
So it's from the beginning of transition.
So I've gone through
a
whole bunch of it, and you've gone through a whole bunch of it.
Yes, there are a lot of mixed variables regarding
there sure are.
that transsexuals go to, and those include not only relationships, and attraction, but it goes as well. You have changes as far as physical changes, emotional changes, and characteristic changes that everyone goes through. And those changes are going to be in abundance and from the time your transition begins to where you get into about mid-transition, depending upon, what your goals and stuff are. One of the things that I've always told a lot of people not to do is to have great expectations, and you know how that is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you set expectations instead of building yourself a roadmap and a plan for yourself, logically through education and through following some of the things that we have set up for you on these sites such as tsroadmap.com, you are going to end up not being able to acquire the things that you were planning on acquiring and having to turn around and acquiring things that you weren't planning on and therefore not being truly ready. So you've got to keep yourself open for discussion. Find yourself a mentor. Today it's a lot easier to find yourself a mentor.
Yeah, mentors are so vitally important.
And very valuable.
Yeah, because,
we didn't have mentors ourselves.
Right.
In fact, we kind of almost became mentors overnight, which was very difficult on us because that was quite a load on top of the load we already had. And that was understanding our own selves.
But a lot of people when they're coming up don't really understand what's going on.
That's true.
And they are finding these changes and things like that happening to them. So it's really, really, really important to...
And then they're wondering, okay, well, what do I do? And the next thing you know, they're on the internet asking anyone and everyone and getting all kinds of answers. And then they're really lost.
Oh, yeah.
How many people have we had this past week that came to us going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I've got all this stuff happening to me, and I don't know what to do. And I'm told this, and I'm told that, and I'm told this. And I'm about just to throw it all away and give it all up. And, I'll tell you why. Those who are not mentors, please don't mentor. Send them to someone whom you know is. It is a very, very dangerous process, especially when it comes to transsexuality or a transgendered individual who is transitioning. Don't lead them on to something that is not true. Watch our videos. Stephanie and I create some very realistic videos of what we go through, not basically what goes on in our heads. We're not trying to psych anybody, and that's
very, very, very important, people.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, we're not trying to psych anyone into believing one thing and or believing another. We are going to let you know what happens, when things can occur, and what is happening to you regarding some of those things that we have studied, which pretty much covers most of the gamut. I am an intense transsexual. Just about anything that ever could happen to me and then some that had never been heard of has happened to me. You know that to be. Oh,
The hair comes with batteries, you know.
oh, it doesn't.
Well, that's
Watch
an
it, girl.
intense That's an intense
I'll
transaction.
pull out my nuclear weapon.
Ooh, that's true.
So, ooh, put your hand out.
Oh no!
Stop it. Okay. Oh, how the teachers used to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, but no.
Ow!
Yes, there are a couple of bumps in the road when you're transitioning that you're going to go through.
Yeah.
And once you get over and through those bumps, the rest of it is pretty smooth sailing until you move on to your next big step. And that really is based upon one's comfort level and where you get in your comfort level.
Yeah.
If you're an extreme or intense transsexual, chances are you're going to want to do more than just transitioning. You're going to actually want to conform to any and everything that you are from within, and become yourself. Otherwise, you're not necessarily going to be bothered with certain things, which would put you on the lower or medium level transition and transsexual, and you're not necessarily going to want to have the surgery, such as SRS. They call it sexual reassignment surgery, or GRS, gender reassignment surgery, or GCS, which is more importantly, I think today, a proper word it should be being used, which is gender corrective surgery. Yes, I think that is more appropriate and less redundant.
Yeah, it's more accurate. It's more descriptive of what we're doing.
That's why if you look at my 5 videos, it says that I am now corrected, not complete. Because you don't never stop transitioning.
Girl, I don't know that you could ever be corrected.
Oh. Ow. That was sore. I'm recovering from that one.
Yeah. So bumps in the road, probably the first bump in the road is going to occur in the process of trying to get
legal stuff done.
Yeah. The legal stuff is really...
It's one of the biggest bumps in the road you run into.
That's a bump in the road because it's such a pain in the bleep.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest bumps in the road that you have to go through is getting all your legal stuff done.
Yeah.
Getting yourself assigned to being the other gender. Getting your letters that you need. You know, that states in fact and proclaims you to be the opposite gender that you are, which you can only get through a therapist and through a medical doctor. Starting your medical transitioning.
Yeah, starting it. That's a bump in the road because
one of the bumps in the road that people fear. The ever dreaded getting started on hormone therapy.
Not only fear, but a lot of them put themselves in a little box that says, "Oh, how can I get this? How can I get this? When am I going to get my prescription?" and things like that.
Yes.
You know, and it really that is a bump in the road for a lot of people.
And there are a lot, and therefore, and because of that, there are a lot of people that literally start on their own, and that's a very dangerous thing to do, unless you really keep yourself educated. And let's face it, not everybody keeps themselves up and or on education, because I've seen people taking everything from Premarin to you name it regarding the hormones, and everything from to Transfem to estradiol to you name it. Yep. I've also seen them taking all the different types of anti-androgens such as Spiro and Endocor and all the rest of these things, and they really don't know what their proper mix is because they don't know what their genetic makeup is. Right. That's one of the things that a doctor does for you to make sure that it's correct for you. Yeah. And they still make sure that it's a trans specialist. You can't just go to a regular family doctor. Okay, look for an endocrinologist, because that's what they do, is they study the hormones and study on how to balance people. Right. And the only way they know how to balance you is going to be for you to get this test ran. And so they can do that. And for those of you who are extreme and intense like myself, the same thing as it would be for a genetically correct girl, a gynecologist. Yep. You need to see one, especially after you've had your gender corrective surgery. Yeah, absolutely. Look for a good one and make sure that they're trans friendly, that they know what they're doing regarding hormones is concerned. If they don't, you don't need to be going to them. Go back to an endocrinologist. That's exactly what an endocrinologist does. HRT, hormones. That's the other bump in the road. The other one is the changes, the physical changes themselves that are going to start occurring. That's right. People all the time are saying,
Yeah.
I've got so much hair. Remember that person we had
Yep.
over in Europe? That she was like, I think she was originally from Iran. She was just so full of hair.
Yeah.
She swore
She
to
had
God
a
she
whole
was
bunch of-
never
never gonna
ever
be
going to
able to
lose all that,
lose
never
it.
going to be able to be passable.
But you do.
She wanted it to happen overnight.
That's actually another good hint that we can give people. Don't expect things to happen overnight because they're not going to.
Yes. But by all means, don't write it off.
Right.
If you
They
wait too
will
long, it will.
happen.
Yes.
It will happen. You know,
Mhm.
your face gets a lot softer. You
Yes.
start developing.
There's areas
the right
that you're not going to lose hair.
You
That's
won't,
what's called FFS. That's your facial feminization surgery.
Yeah.
And that is, where you
That's
have
when you cut your skin off.
Don't do that. That scare everybody again. Where's your costume?
Well, remember, we just had Halloween.
FFS is one of the other ways of getting yourself corrected. This is facial feminization surgery because you could have testosterone damage in your nose, testosterone damage of your skin,
Yep.
testosterone damage of the forehead, of your chin. And, of course, you could also have an Adam's apple, which happens. And you could have big feet, which have...
Yeah, you get the
Or you could have
big
Or you can have my feet, which actually have shrunk 2 shoe sizes.
Yeah, the lucky
Yeah, she witnessed that. I actually went from one shoe size to another since I moved in here with her, and we went to Thailand, and they went and they measured me again for a second time. You're no longer a size 10. You're now a size 9.
She's down to a size 9.
And still shrinking. I'm only 19 months.
Yeah.
September, October.
Lucky girl.
19 months.
Right.
Yeah, going into my 20th month in transition.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Ooh, I just can't.
See, there you go.
I just can't shrink yours.
Right.
You have to go get one of the machines.
Yeah, you know,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Right.
I know.
So those are some of the bumps in the road that you're going to find and things like that.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel now that you have? We haven't stopped transitioning, but
You
we have
never
gone
stop
through.
transitioning. You never do.
No,
you never
but
do.
it's asking about our feelings and thoughts and feelings around our progression of our transitioning. I can tell you that it makes you feel a lot better about yourself.
Oh yeah, I feel great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a 2-time survivor of having attempted suicide.
Yeah.
And failed.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason for that was because I was failing miserably, trying to be someone that I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And for all intents and purposes, and Steffi will tell you this,
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to hang it up when I went on the operating table to have my corrective surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, this is it, but I made it. I'm me,
Yeah.
and I would rather die
she
trying.
lived through it.
So
If she can live through it, and if I can live through it, hey,
so
don't worry about it.
So if any of you can reach through the screen and pinch me and let me know that I'm still alive, I would appreciate that in your comments and or video suggestions that we have down below.
Well, at least you do leave an image on a mirror, so we know that it's that.
Yeah, you know how many times I've had to kiss that or clean that mirror off in your bathroom from the lipstick when you kissing yourself in the mirror?
That's darn right.
We've got bugs. No. So anyway, everyone, it really does feel good.
Oh yeah.
To be complete. But know this. There's a very important saying that all of us need to understand. And there's a lot of things that happen to us.
A stitch in time saves 9?
No.
Oh.
A much better saying, I think.
Okay.
And that is, because a lot of us are late in starting our transitions, and it's not necessarily by choice, because we have different paths we have to follow, and all of us have different paths. That's why there's so many different stories.
Exactly.
And that is to remember this. You cannot go back in life, but you can change the past by focusing on what will be behind you tomorrow.
Right.
My name's Stephanie.
I'm Steffi.
Have a
Till
nice
next week.
day.